Hello guys, this is Carla and this time I'm here to do a review for episode 1 of season 2 of the TV show Outlander, which I've been waiting for this show to come back for so long now that it feels like an eternity. And as we know, season 1 ended up really darkly. That was one of the most excruciating things I've ever had to watch in my life, and I was still kind of a little scared about how what this episode was gonna be. And honestly, I mean, Outlander is a drama, so I expected the season to end in a drama last time. I thought that maybe because they were going to Paris by the end of the season that it would, I don't know, start off a little lighter. I was wrong. I mean, it wasn't excruciating or anything, but it was very, very dramatic. And honestly, I think that sort of spells in my mind exactly what a season premiere should be. In my head, season premieres should start with a punch. You know, they should let you know, okay, we're going all in this season. You'll have time for fillers later and for slower episodes later, but as far as I'm concerned, season premieres and season finales should be big, or at least kind of give you an idea of all the things that this season is going to bring with them. And to say that this episode started off with a punch, it's almost an understatement, okay? Because straight away they take you into the drama, and oh my god, it was so gut-wrenching. Just right off the bat, Claire is back in his own time, in her own time, after having been with Jamie, after loving Jamie, after thinking that she was going to spend the rest of her life with Jamie. All of a sudden, she's back in 1948 with Frank, who looks exactly like Blackjack Randall, and obviously that's going to affect her a lot. Not only has she lost Jamie, but now she has to go back to a life that she thought she would never go back to again. You know, she'd already made up her mind after 2 years in the past, in the Highlands, that, you know, her life in 1948 was over. And now she's back, and she's lost everything she had. She's pregnant, for God's sake. I mean, she's lost the father of her baby for what seems like forever, and she has to go back to her, former husband, who she could never give a child to because, I mean, he was sterile, but they could never have a child together. And now she's pregnant with another man's baby, and it's such a mess. I mean, I felt so bad for Claire. Oh my god, you cannot... I mean, the ending of season 1 was excruciating in a very raw, visceral way, and it was awful, and I'm still amazed that this show had the guts to actually go there. But this one was very emotionally wrenching in a sense. It's like, I can't even imagine. I feel so bad for Claire. I feel so bad for Frank. I feel so bad for everyone in this situation, you know what I mean? It's like, oh my god. And then, wait to tell us what the ending of the season is going to be, right? Because straight away, you know that even if they went to France, even if, they were plotting to, like, derail the Jacobite insurgents or rebellion, even if they were planning on that doesn't necessarily pan out at all. Not only does Claire go back to her own time, but Jamie most likely still fights in the rebellion and most likely still dies in the rebellion, and the Jacobites still get squashed by the British, and it's it's kind of devastating just to know that all the time she spent in the Highlands was pretty much for nothing. She didn't change anything. I can't imagine how she feels. And also I feel very sorry for Frank. I mean, I always liked Frank from the first season. He seemed like a very loving man. He seemed like a very loyal man. He for the longest time refused to believe that Claire had actually left him voluntarily. So I felt for him. But after the events of the end of the season, it's very hard to reconcile someone. Like, Tobias Menzies is so... He's such a great actor. I mean, I still can't imagine how anybody could play Blackjack Randall that cruelly and that, terribly. And it comes to the point that even I, whenever I look at Frank, I'm like, just waiting for him to blow up. And in my head, of course, I know they're two different people. But they're the same actor, and they're supposed to look the same, so if it's hard for me to reconcile that, I can't even imagine what it would be like for Claire. You know what I mean? She hates Blackjack Randall. She hates him to death. And at the same time, she loves Frank, and it's gotta be so terribly confusing for her. I like I said, I like Frank. I understand all the pain that he must be going through, but at the same time, I mean, he did have that one moment when he, went crazy and almost hit Claire and started, ran out and started destroying everything. That scared me. I mean, I believe that he would never hurt Claire. I do believe it. It's really scary to know that he does have a temper, especially considering he looks just like Blackjack Randall. So while I do still believe that he's a good man and that he loves Claire and that he wants to protect her and he genuinely wants them to have a second chance, it still scares me, that one moment. I was like, oh my god, please don't. I thought he was gonna hit her, and I was like, please don't. He was a good guy. Please don't do this to him. Don't destroy the character like this. So, happily, he pulled back and only destroyed property. It's still freaking scary, though. So I do hope they explore that. Because even good people can have a temper. Even good people can just snap and make bad decisions. And as long as I hope that they showed that he wouldn't be like that normally. Like, he was just overwhelmed and had a slip. And it was really a slip. It's not like something that's inside him all the time, because that would really freak me out. And I don't want to hate Frank. I don't want to be afraid of Frank. I think he's a good guy. I think he's just overwhelmed. I hope they keep showing that through the season. Because if they actually truly turn him into some kind of rage monster, then, the comparison with Blackjack will be a little too close for my taste, and I would hate to dislike Frank, because I hate Blackjack's guts, and I don't want them to even be comparable. So I hope they don't do that. I haven't read the book, so I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm keeping my fingers crossed that they can go back to showing Frank as the good guy, the dependable guy, the loyal guy that I saw in him in the first season, even though he's really stressed with this whole, my wife is pregnant with another dude's baby thing. As far as the Paris side of things, I have to say, the transition point when, Claire's coming off the airplane, which I thought was really cool, by the way. It's like, oh, look, airplanes in 1849 were really, different. So I like that moment when she's coming down and Frank offers her his hand and she takes it, and then the camera pans to the side and it's Jamie and she's coming off the boat. I thought that was really cool. Really, really cool. Awesome cinematography there. Claire cannot stop being Claire, even if she tried. So, of course, right away when they get to France, they're already making really great friends who want to kill them. Yay! It's like, she can't stop herself. So wherever there's some corrupt dude who doesn't care about people dying and she has any word to say on it, she's going to say the word. She's going to say the truth, state it, for the record, even though, corrupt, wealthy businessmen will, take it against her and probably, become her enemies. She doesn't care, and Jamie can't really do anything but be like, okay, here we go again. It was fun. It was funny, really. I really enjoyed it. I like that they speak the French. I find it really funny that they have subtitles for the French when they didn't have subtitles when they were speaking in the Scottish language. Was it Gaelic? I don't even know which language it is. Sorry. But when they were speaking that, they didn't bother with the subtitles. But when they have French, they do. And it's interesting because I understand the French better than I did, the Scottish brogue. So I find it interesting that I don't have to read the subtitles now most of the time, but I did. I wish I could have had subtitles back in season 1. But I think it's really interesting. I can't wait to see how they go about sort of inserting themselves in with the bigger players of the rebellion. That's going to be interesting. Obviously, I don't think they're going to stop it because it's a historical thing. I don't think you can really change the past. And I think that's kind of going to be the point of the book, in a sense. The point of the series, in a sense. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they do that. And also the, ethical and, personal debate of it, because it sure does seem, like Jamie said, it doesn't seem like very honorable thing to do. It's like, yeah, we believe in the rebellion, but at the same time we have to stop it because we know it's not going to work and people are going to die. So it seems really dishonorable in a way. It's like going about trying to stop something that they actually really believe in. So I would like to see how they play. I mean, obviously it's really Claire. It's really clear for Claire, that she has to stop people from dying because she doesn't want Jamie to take part in it and die. So it's really clear in her mind. But of course Jamie's like, I can't just let, my family, my friends, the people I know, my countrymen stay as they are under oppression just because I know I'm fighting a war that I'm going to lose. So I think that's going to be my favorite part of my favorite theme of this season, probably. I like the way they touched upon it here. I like that, Jamie's still kind of reeling both emotionally and physically from his encounter with Blackjack. And I mean, I'm glad they didn't gloss over that. So that's good. It was a really big deal. I almost wished I hadn't seen it, but I did, and I would like to get the lesson from it, that they don't just gloss over it, because it's important. I think it was very groundbreaking for television when it aired, and the consequences of it should be touched upon. And I'm sorry, I love France, and I really can't wait to see how they, show us Paris and Versailles and just everything. I love seeing locations like that in movies and in television. I love seeing the period pieces, the costumes, just the traditions that they had, the activities that they did, the food they ate, the way people behaved differently from one place to another. I love seeing that, and I can't wait to see that in the season. I mean, if the production values in season 1 were great, then this season I'm sure it's going to be like off the charts good. So I can't wait to see that. I really liked this episode. I thought it was a great way to start the season. Started off with a punch, which is, again, it's something that I really think every season premiere should do. And I can't wait to see what happens next. So that's it for my review. As usual, be sure to visit our website at thegeekypub.com. We have reviews not just for previous Outlander episodes, but also for other TV shows, books, movies, games. We have a ton of stuff in there, so be sure to visit and check it out. And also, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel if you like our videos, because that's usually where they go up first. Most of the time, even before they hit the website, they're up on YouTube. So if you don't want to miss anything that we upload, then you want to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, if you like my reviews and my ranting about random stuff, you can find me on Twitter at girlsareweird with underscores in between the words. Also on Tumblr at girlsareweird with hyphens between the words. And on my personal YouTube channel at bookending, that's bookend.i.ng, where I talk about the endings of books and just fangirl all about them. That's it from me today. I will see you guys in my next review. Bye!